So, hello, this is the next video in the series of videos I'm making all about chainsaw chains. I want to do a video on chain gauges, the actual thickness of these drive links, but I realize my calipers are at work, so kind of hard to do when I can't measure it to show you guys the difference. But, so, today's video is still about drive links, but it's about the different designs of them and why they're different designs. So right here at the top we have the newest steel Oilmatic drive links. These are the newest ones. As you can see, they got a series of, there it is, series of dots in it, just little dots punched in, a actual hole, and then one nice long continuous groove that goes into the hole. This chain holds and carries the most oil across your bar from your oiler. Why is that important? These are especially important on steel saws to lubricate your bar tip. As you can see here, this has an oil hole, or rather a grease hole. You can use oil. I prefer using grease. Grease just holds into the bearings better. But steels do not have that feature. They have non-greasable tips along with certain lower end chainsaw bars. That's important because it helps bring extra oil to those bar tips. Here's same steel chain, Oilmatic, as you can see, packaging, same drive link design as this, and this just has that one long gouge in it. It's actually a Preston dimple that does actually help move oil. Showing you all the major designs that I've seen. This right here, this is an old Oregon style. It's similar, but just has those numbers punched in, which do help hold on to oil. And that's a new Oregon chain, which has actual grooves cut into it, very similar to the older Oilmatic chains. Just not quite as severe, but there are two of them. These are what they call their Lubritac or Lubriplate chains. These actually, in my opinion, do a very good job, and I've never noticed a major difference between these and the new Oilmatic chains. Finally, we have Archer chains. These are probably one of the other most common style chains with the other most common style drive links. See, it's very similar to the old Oilmatic chains where it's just that one nice long big groove in it. These, same with the old Oilmatics, work very well. Don't work quite as well on steels, but that's mainly due to steels not having a greasable bar tip. That's probably the reason they went to this. They went to this style chain about the same time they got away from greasable bar tips, if I remember correctly. It's hard remembering because that was a very long time ago. But these hold the most oil, these hold the next most, these hold next most, and then these hold the least amount, but those work great for years. So, I'm gonna get you set back up here, because there's one last thing I want to talk about. What is that little slot in the drive link for? A lot of people say, oh, you need it to drive the chains. Well, that is true in a sense. You can see, even on the same brand chains, those exact point shapes and styles differ as you go along. Some are more pronounced, some are less pronounced, some are more squared off, some are more of just coming down to a point, no hook, and others have a square face. Others have an actual hook to them. There it is. So yes, it does hook into the drive link, or the drive sprocket, which I have a great example of right here. This right here, this is just a 3/8 10-pin sprocket. You can see it's just a slot. These slot into any 3/8 chain, and they hold it very well. So, this you can actually see right there. As you can see, that hook does not actually make any contact with anything in these drive sprockets. So, you might be asking yourself, if it's not for that, what is that for? So, in my experience, and from what I've heard from a couple different engineers, right there, that little hook is A, for dragging oil along the bar, because the bar channels are actually relatively deep. They're actually a bit deeper than these drag links are, about yay deep. Helps to A, drag oil, and B, and this is the biggest part, is it helps to drag crap out of your bar channels. And it then funnels it up into these slots, and just doesn't do a great job. It wasn't 100% designed to it, but it does help keep your bar rails clean. That doesn't mean you should neglect cleaning them, because stuff like this, oil-soaked sawdust, stuff like this, if it's on your saw, you can bet your bottom dollar it's stuck in your guide rails at some point. Yes, that's the file that I've got tracked in there just to hold this up, just to help you see. But this, as you can see, there's bare metal there, but there is a little bit starting to build up. I've seen saws packed so high with that, up to here almost, that much of the chain was above my screwdriver tip, was sticking out of the bar. It's not good to let it build up to that level, because that can start damaging things. It increases the chain tightness, which can overheat both your bar tip and your sprocket, and it's just not good for the bar. You should be cleaning these every time you either sharpen the chain or take the chain off. I know it's hard to do when you're just sharpening the chain, but I do it every time I flip the bars. Personally, I don't flip my bars quite as often as I should. You should be flipping them again every time you sharpen chains or you change chains out. I usually do it once a day. Haven't noticed a huge difference, but I have noticed that when I do it only once a day, I do have a fairly decent accumulation of mung in the bar rails. But relatively short video today, but I wanted to make it just on those chain drivers, because the next video should be about different chain gauges, which chain gauge is just the size of the driver. But other than that, hope you guys have a great day. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed. Bye now.